Computer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Two Bros One Pod with our fantastic co-host Mark's Max Muscle. Mark,
Pleased to be part of the team.
yeah, I think this is episode
Happy to
10.
be part of the team.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of podcasts on EP09.
Yep. Yeah, he's been killing it. Those are fun.
Yep, yep. No, it's nice to be on. Hang around with him, hang around with you.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
that's an inside joke. EP, we'll get that one.
Oh, is that like a Simpsons one or what?
Trailer Park Boys,
Oh, yeah. I've only seen like just tiny bits of that one.
because the two guys wanted the one guy to hang around with him. Oh, you got to hang around with me, and the other guy was, oh no, you got to hang around with me. I got chicken pizza and wrestling games. And then the other guy had
Mm,
fireworks, and he's like, "Oh no, he's got fireworks. Hang around with you. I'm gonna hang around with him."
it sounds like Bubbles.
Yeah, that was Bubbles. Yeah, I didn't know if you knew the names, so I didn't.
Yeah, in high school, my offensive lineman coach used to call me Sam Squanch, and I had no idea what that meant.
Yeah, that's what they called the Sasquatch.
Yep. Well, because people used to call me Sasquatch because I was like, I'm just a big dude, not as big as I am now. I mean, I'm a monster compared to what I was in high school, but
No,
I
same height.
same height, but once when I joined the army and then I got jacked, and then I started
You
lifting
slap on
again.
some clay. You slap on some clay.
I did. Yeah. Well, I was kind of like I was fluffy. And then when I got to basic training, they just diet you down. You're running 2-3 miles every other day. And I got shredded. I had abs. I only had a flip phone at the time. So no cool photos, guys. Sorry. uh
Yeah,
Back then, man. Oof.
yeah. There's no
2013.
pictures of anything.
No.
I had a cousin that did bodybuilding. Like when I was really young, he's like in our family, range is like they have uncles that are younger than the nephews or whatever. But he
Mm,
did bodybuilding, and I was just like 5 years old, whatever it was, and he was competing in bodybuilding. But there was no pictures. There was video. They actually we filmed it, and I watched that sucker a million times.
hmm.
But there was no pictures, and he was jacked, and it's like, geez, I wish, or I'm sure he wishes
Yeah.
pictures, like hardly any pictures.
Well, you remember, have you ever, I know you've listened to like After Hours with Dave and Chris. Um,
Chris
Aceto.
Aceto?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They were talking about when they were prepping, when Chris was prepping Jay for, I don't know, like the 2000 through 2010,
A
he
little
would
bit
have
later
to,
on.
yeah, he'd have to mail him Polaroids every week. And I just thought that's such a outlandish thought. I can't fathom something like
But
that.
it's you have to walk before you bicycle, I guess, or whatever, or what have you.
Yeah. Or, well,
No.
you were around back then. Sorry, back then, when the only kind of bodybuilding content you had was the magazines.
Well, even then, you'd flip through them, and I usually didn't buy many of them. I had
Mm,
there was books. I had the Arnold Encyclopedia. I got
yep.
that way back when, before Ronnie Coleman was even champion. He was in the book, and I remember seeing him, but I don't remember investing too much time thinking about the guy.
Mm,
And then, of course, he won the title, and then I was into it. And him and Jay did battle. I was into it. For some reason, I wasn't too upset when Jay beat him, but I kind of thought Ronnie at the time, looking
yeah.
back, obviously, I know much more now. But when Jay won the title, I stopped watching bodybuilding. Like, wasn't
Oh.
in, I hate to say it because I love Jay, but back then, as a fan of bodybuilding, didn't like Jay.
Mm,
It's weird. Looking back, I'm like, why didn't I like the guy? He seemed like a cocky guy. I guess I have that. I shouldn't have that biased on people, but he seemed like a really cocky guy. But knowing the guy, like listening to him talk, he's so like not like that way.
well, nowadays at least. But I mean, a lot of those East Coast guys. Apologies, East Coast people. But if you ever watch Mutant in the Mouth when Nick Trigili was like guesting for a little bit, that podcast was unwatchable for me because it was just three East Coast guys. Just the attitude of it was just not enjoyable. So maybe Jay had something like that back in the day, or was it just you
Probably just the
overthinking?
way he looked. I don't know.
Oh,
Well, he didn't really hear them talk a whole lot back then.
oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Huh.
It's like watching wrestling too much, I guess. You base your opinion on the character that they have.
Oh yeah. Like,
And I didn't like his posing routines, I think.
oh yeah. Jay was not a poser. Nope.
No, no,
Dexter
no.
was a poser. Flex was a poser.
Dex
Sean
didn't
Ray.
have like too much. Well, yeah, Dex did a good intricate routine, but he snapped the shots really well.
Mm, mm.
Who did you say after Dex?
Sean, Flex.
Sean Roden or Ray? Ray.
I guess both of them, but Sean Ray, I started seeing some footage. I've never been a fan of the guy, but I think the
I
older
thought you
I'm
liked Sean
getting,
Ray.
I like him now.
Yeah,
Because I've talked to him in person. It's like
it's been a
I
while since he's putting his foot in his mouth.
yeah,
You
and
tend to forget about that stuff.
bodybuilding moves quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
It moves
No,
quickly.
his routines, man, next level.
Very pretty.
There's only a couple of guys, namely maybe
Yep. Lee. Yep.
Labrada.
Labrada. Yep.
But other than that, there's not too many that can touch Ray. In
Mm,
my opinion, he's that good.
yeah. Yeah. I'll have to rewatch more of it, but getting back to what like my relationship with Sean Ray is, I think he put his foot in his mouth so many times. And when I was probably my first year of bodybuilding commentating, on YouTube here with you, I I think I was a little bit too quick to judge him without really knowing the legacy of Sean and the appreciation we should have for someone that's a legacy piece in the sport, being able to be so open and being able to commentate on things the way he does. A lot of people don't have that fortitude to put up with that kind of criticism and feedback for some of the stuff Sean said.
Yeah, yeah. At the first, I think everybody's quick to they hear Arnold say, "Screw your freedoms," and it's terrible. Sure, it is, but I mean, after a while, it's like, well, he didn't do anything bad. He just said bad stuff.
Yeah.
There is people that do bad stuff. Those
Mm-hmm.
are the people we should probably be upset with for a little bit longer than some 70-year-old man that, said what he shouldn't have said.
Yeah. Had a nice
Whatever.
hot take.
Whatever. They should have
Soundbite.
spliced
Soundbite.
in. I don't get why nobody didn't think to splice in him saying "screw your freedom," and then followed by that guy drop kicking him that time.
Mm.
You
Oh
remember that
yeah,
guy
yeah. In
drop kicked him?
South Africa, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was in like a gymnasium or something.
Yeah. It was, I think it was at the Arnold South Africa, which
Some
such a weird show. Like you don't hear about that one at all.
That was so weird. Like
Yeah.
dude drop kicking him.
Yeah, that was, and then the bouncers just popped him. Oh,
He's probably something wrong with his head.
it's gotta be. Yeah. I mean,
Have to be.
it's like you drop kicked Arnold and I
It
don't
was like a
know.
wrestling style drop kick too. The guy
Yeah,
was
this is a double leg.
pretending
Just
to do like a wrestling move, not to try to hurt him. I mean, a wrestling drop kick's not going to feel good, but they don't hurt.
right. He's not like doing like a Joe Rogan kick.
No, oof, jeez, Louise, that would
Mm,
hurt compared to a. That's why Joe Rogan laughs at wrestling. Well, he used to
yeah.
anyway. He
Yeah.
respects it now because he gets to talk to the guys and they admit, there's no
That
such thing as kayfabe or whatever they call it anymore.
yeah. It that was also, I thought, was interesting. I finally learned that wrestling, it's not that it's fake, it's just that it's predetermined. Everything
It,
about it is
it,
real, like the hits, the
it, it
drops.
yeah, it's not competitive.
Yeah.
You're
It's
you're
not
doing a
like
dance.
MMA. You're not.
You're doing a dance. Your mentality is 100% different
Yeah.
because as I'm sure you guys have done wrestling, boxing, whatever. To plan something, and if the plan goes awry, to try to get back onto the plan, that's not what you do. You go and you roll with the punches. But in pro wrestling, you have a plan, and you try to stick with that plan and go with it.
Mm,
And if it does screw up, you gotta kind of try to get back onto the track. But in MMA, hey, if you're boxing a guy that say if he can known for his punching and you can't punch, but if you nail a good shot, you knock him out. It's like, well, yeah, go for it. But
Hmm.
of course, in
Yeah.
wrestling, that can happen too. WrestleMania 2001, or I forget which one. Hulk Hogan was fighting The Rock,
Okay.
and he was supposed to get cheered. The Rock was supposed to get cheered, and Hogan was supposed to get booed. But
Oh,
it was booed The Rock because the Hogan was he was a bad guy. But it
yeah.
had been a
Hollywood
while
Hogan,
since he
right?
was in the yeah, but it was a while since he was in the WWF, and he was never that Hollywood Hulk Hogan in the WWF. On Monday Night Raw, he was getting booed and stuff, but this was the WrestleMania, and it was in Canada. So
Hmm.
different audience altogether. And they booed The Rock and they cheered Hogan and they changed the entire match,
Oh,
basically, like
on the
working with the
fly.
audience. Yeah. Well, they didn't, the two legends like that, they're not going to talk too much anyway about what's going on.
Yeah.
But of course, they had the plan for The Rock to win, and he did.
Yep.
But if they had known it was going to be like that, they likely would have changed the outcome.
Hmm.
You could see Vince running down to the ring. Change the outcome, damn it. Change it.
Yep.
No, all pissed off.
Mm. Wrestling. I always like just my brain goes blank when you talk about wrestling because I'm like, I don't know too much about that.
Crazy world.
Uh,
I don't know anything about it anymore.
yeah, well, I guess, yeah. Well, you were talking about, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about wrestling, but you were talking about maybe doing a match last time we talked about wrestling.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe like a year or so.
What does the prep look like for that? For you to jump
Oh, well, it
around
would be
and
totally different for me right now. For me right now, I'm looking at trying to build my physique.
yep.
I
Get
know
ready
how to
for the
wrestle.
next Mark's Max Muscle Invitational.
Yeah, no. Well, I won't be in this one. I don't not going to be in any of them anyway. But
Oh,
I could do guest posings
guess
for
what? There you
them.
go. There you go.
Yeah. But I'm not going to judge myself.
Mm. You can throw it out to the group. Me and Superset and EP0, desktop.
Yeah, no, that would be cool.
Yeah.
No,
Goat.
in terms of getting back into the ring, I'm trying to build like do the same thing, except I obviously wouldn't be as cut because that's
Yeah.
not going to help you in the ring. You're going to
No,
need your
no.
energy,
Yeah. Performance.
but you would need ring time because there's nothing else but ring time.
Yeah.
You can jog. Jogging's about the only thing, and to
Just to get the
train without
endurance up.
water, it's
Oh.
a yeah, because when you're out there, you are thirsty as hell, right?
Mm.
It'd be like an MMA fight, except not as bad, I
Yeah.
guess. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I couldn't imagine like being in a fight because when you're doing it, it's got to feel pretty real.
Yeah, except you
Someone
don't have to worry about getting punched in the face.
have you been like, cause I've been in a couple like street fights, unfortunately. And like when people start swinging, everything changes. Like I can't even explain it. It's just, I don't know. You go red. You can't think. You're
Well,
reacting.
there's a difference of knowing you're going to get into a fight and then a fight springing up. That's what you mean. Like
Right.
if you can control that beforehand, like I've been in
Mm,
a couple of fights where I knew there was a fight and this guy's going to fight me. I'm going to fight this guy. And those were the like, I'm no tough guy. I'm
yeah.
sure that guy was not a fighter, whatever.
Mm,
But those are the I've done better in those type of situations than something springing on me. I get my ass whooped.
yeah.
Whereas some people, football
Yeah.
players,
Yeah.
football
I
players,
haven't
you don't
lost a
want to mess
fight.
with a football
Um,
players because they're like strong. They go at you.
yep.
It's like I need a second to get into this, brother.
Hmm.
I can't just ease into or wade into this. I gotta kind of. But some people are different, right?
Hmm. True. Huh.
Well, you're a big hoss anyway. You'd be in a different weight class. I would run. You're my
Y-
back door.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't think I've ever fought someone my size. So but I've never went out of my way to fight someone, and it was when I was younger, like under 20 years old, and it was always over a girl
See,
or
when
something.
we were dumb, we're smart enough to talk our way out of it now.
Yeah, now it's just like I just kind of laugh it off and de-escalate things because I mean I'm 30. I don't want to get punched in the face.
No, to get into a fight is like it's pretty low down. You're rolling around on the
the
ground.
the very last one I got into, I came home and like my fists were all bloodied up, so I was like rinsing them off and stuff, and my dad saw, and he said, "I'm disappointed in you," and like that
Did you
just
let him know that you won?
um, I mean,
Because I
my face
guarantee,
wasn't
as a
busted up at all.
father,
It was just my hands. So
well,
clearly,
he
like I
should have
didn't get
been.
landed on.
He should have been at least. Because they say there's nothing worse than your old man knowing that you got your ass whooped.
Oh, uh, I don't know. I'm
There was an old wrestling story. I hate to bring it back to wrestling, but the Rougeau brothers and the British Bulldogs.
okay.
If you have ever have time to look that up, man, they got into a bad one.
Mm,
And I can tell it if you want to invest more time into this video. But
sure. Yeah. This will be the
okay,
wrestling and street fight episode.
there was the British Bulldogs. They were a big team. They were shorter guys, but they were muscle bound. They were bruisers. And
Yeah.
one in particular was a bully. He was a dynamite kid. He was a bully. He'd rough people up backstage and shit like that.
Hmm.
And the Rougeaus were French guys. And the British and the French, I don't know if you know the history, but especially back in the 80s, they just didn't get along.
That
Wars
they
and stuff
never
like
did.
that.
Yeah.
No, no. So it wasn't it was the same thing for them guys. The Dynamite Kid, they'd razz him, and it would get the one Rougeau guy. He'd be like, he's no wimp, so
Mm,
he's not going to take crap. But he knew the Dynamite would probably whoop him.
yeah.
So one day he said something smart to him. And he's sitting down playing cards. This French guy, and the bulldog came up behind him from the side of him, blindside him. Beat the crap out of him in front of everybody in the locker room. So this guy, the bulldog or the French guy, that weekend he was going to his dad's house for the weekend,
Mm,
and they hadn't seen each other in a while. And he had another brother too. They were actual brothers, the French guys, the Rougeau brothers, and he must have told his dad what happened. And they had to go to the dad's house all weekend. He said they never spoke because his dad was like kind of disappointed. This
wow.
bulldog, this British bulldog beat you up. Why you let him beat you up?
Mm,
And he said, because he can beat me up. And I wasn't trying to fight with him. And he beat me up anyway.
right.
So, and in the wrestling world, there's two sides of it. So the French guy, he didn't say nothing for a while. He went back to wrestling. They went back to wrestling. Didn't say much to the bulldog. So the bulldogs were strutting their stuff around. And there
Mm.
was a third wrestler. We're going to throw the third name in here, Dino Bravo. He was a French guy too, but he was friends with these bulldogs.
He was
And he
friends with
said,
these.
and he knew the bulldogs. So he goes to the British bulldog. He says, I'm friends with you. I'm friends with them. And I know them and their family. He says, he's not going to let this slide. He's going
Mm,
to try to come back at you. And bulldog, F this, F that. I don't care if he does. But he had a plan. He had a roll of quarters in his hand,
ooh.
and he was practicing one punch, right? This one punch. His brother was actually into boxing a little bit, so he really was prepping him up into this one punch because he told him his idea. He's going to get him, but not when nobody's around.
Mm,
So they waited, and they knew the bulldog had to come back and get his stuff. So they knew he had to come back in the room,
yeah.
and they waited till all of his friends were gone. So it was just the Rougeau guy in the room. And when the bulldog came along, I'm sure if you heard the story, the details would be slightly different, but this is basically what happened. He walked into the room and he cold cocked him with the roll of quarters, the
Mm,
bulldog. Boom. And that's why everybody says, oh, he's a cheapskate. And it's like, well, he did the same thing to him 2 weeks prior. He
mm.
waited till his wounds were healed a little bit. But he said he hit the bulldog so hard, solid, that it would have knocked anybody out. Teeth,
Oh,
all of his front teeth were gone. They all
oh.
went flying. And he stood and he swung at the French guy. And exchanged a couple punches, I think, something along them lines, but everybody broke it up because it was a mess. It
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
mess. It was a mess. So, and the funny thing is, Vince McMahon, all the
Mm.
while, he told Rougeau he wants to talk to him in his office. He was actually going to tell him, if anything goes down between you and the Bulldog, and I'm going to tell the Bulldog this too, you're both fired.
Oh,
And he knew this. Vince, he probably figured that's what Vince was going to say. So he said, if he doesn't do this now,
yep.
he's going to
Get it out
be,
of the
and you
way.
feel like a little coward. Even
Mm.
though, he said one on one, yeah, the Bulldog could have whooped my butt, but
He settled the score.
I'm not looking for a fight.
Yeah.
And he'll
Make it
probably
even.
do it again. So
Mm.
yeah, anyway, Vince told him anything happens, he's like, somebody's going to go to somebody's house and burn their house down if you guys keep
Right.
going like that.
Right.
So the Bulldogs quit. Anyway, after that,
Oh,
shortly after. Yeah, shortly after, yeah.
yeah.
I think the Rougeau had to pay for his teeth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. That's
Yeah.
man. Moral of the
Yeah,
story, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fight.
but yeah. And the worst part about it is just the feelings, because they had to wrestle each other. There's actually an event that they had to wrestle after that.
Mm.
It's a big event, like a Survivor or a SummerSlam or a Survivor Series, one of them two.
Yeah,
SummerSlam, I think.
yeah,
But yeah, it's just the hard feelings when they could have just been able to get along.
yeah. Words. Use your words.
But
Mm.
yeah, that's the Bulldog
Make
Rougeau
sure I
story.
timestamp that one. That's an interesting story. I didn't know that at all. I can't say I've heard of those guys. Hmm. So Kareth, you got Kareth drawing in the back.
Oh, wrong side, yeah.
It's pretty good.
He's seen it too. He commented.
Yeah, Kareth is such a cool dude. He comments every time I feature him, or if EP09 does it, he always comments on the video like, "Hey, thanks for sharing," or messages
He
us directly.
he
Just a
might
good dude.
comment on mine. I really don't read comments.
I mean, you get at your level, you get so many comments. It's not
I'll see
proud.
a few like when I first see it,
Yep.
but I make a point usually not to. Sometimes I do, but
Post and ghost.
if I do comment, somebody will probably be like, "Well, why didn't he comment on my video?"
Mm,
Basically, we don't see all of them.
yep.
When you look at comments, you see yours. When I look at Nick Strength and Power's comments, I see mine right up,
Yep.
right? When he
Yep.
looks at them, he's not going to see mine first.
Yeah.
Because I used to comment all the time and think, why doesn't he comment back on mine? Probably
I
just
don't
didn't
think he
see them.
doesn't really. I think Nick
He does.
just.
He used to comment. He comments every like he used to anyway. I don't know if he does anymore.
Oh, I've never gotten. I've never gotten a comment. I used to be like pretty active in his comment section, like talking with people, and then I just started. I think he might have like restricted my comments because like I don't get any like replies anymore. It's
Hmm.
kind of weird.
His channel's kind of tapered off. I understand what he's doing. He's
He's
making. He's
he's
doing his
making
job.
a yep. He's doing his job.
He's doing his job.
Yeah,
At this juncture, you don't really want to rock the boat. He's still gaining subscribers because a
he
lot of
is.
channels, not bodybuilding channels, but other channels, they're losing 10,000 subscribers a week or a
Wow,
month. Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. I've never
Well,
noticed
they boom
losing.
up. They boom up when the internet, like, it's a different world now.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
this
yeah.
channel called Top 50 Facts, Amazing Facts.
Hmm. It's a good idea.
Yeah, Matthew something or other. I mean, when I used to watch all of his videos,
Hmm.
and then just all of a sudden, he's still got 6 million or something like that. But his views are way down. I checked his social blade and he's like losing 10,000 subscribers a month.
Yeah. And I don't lose subscribers. Like you'll mention every once in a while on your analytics, you'll lose one here and there. I've never noticed. I always notice the positive. Like at the end of the month, it says, "Oh, you gained X number."
Well, you worked hard for each and every one of your subscribers, the
Yeah,
way you do videos and stuff.
we're grinding. Yeah, yeah. I was talking with EP0. I want to get back to Kareth in a second, but I was talking with EP09, and I was talking about, and I was talking to you just before we started recording, how this week or technically last week, I made a mental switch to prioritize making content over everything else. So my weightlifting, like my personal bodybuilding journey isn't a priority right now. Content is. And my free time, it's making sure content's being posted. And dating, my priority is making sure content's being made, that I'm covering bodybuilding. Especially right now, everything's very, people think bodybuilding is slow because we're in the off season, but there's
Oh.
lots going on, ladies and gentlemen.
See, I found that Derek winning the Olympia, a lot of people were down on it, but
Yeah.
it opens up the door for much more possibilities. Like, it's more exciting than if Phil Heath won, he'll probably win again.
Mm,
It's like, well, if Derek does win another one, he probably will win 3. But this year, and we got, a couple of X
I
factors in
think the
there.
perfect. Oh, you think Flex is coming back this year?
No,
I
no,
thought he
no,
was retired.
a couple of X factors. Like we have
Oh,
Rubiel.
if he wins New York, yep, he's gonna have to beat Tonio. He's gonna have to beat Rafael Brandeo. He's got a couple big
Brandeau's
names.
doing the New York. Really?
Mm-hmm.
How come I
Yep.
didn't see that?
Rafael's doing Tampa, New
I didn't think he
York.
was in shape yet. When's the New York? I suppose the
He
New
just
York's
started.
probably not
He
so.
started his prep 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
So he's doing the Arnold Ohio in 12 weeks. He's doing the Arnold UK in 14 weeks, and he's doing the New York in, I think, 16 weeks. And then after that, he's doing the Tampa and
Oh,
the
so the
Arnold Brazil.
Arnold's before the New York.
Yes,
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure. Or is the New York before the Arnold UK?
I'm
Is New
not
York
sure.
right after Ohio? My cat is
I
so
should
loud.
know by now, but man, when
Well,
I look at the calendar year, I should know which events which. I know New York is close to being one of the first,
yes. Yep.
but Arnold could be the first.
I think, yeah, I think the
Arnold
Arnold
was first
Ohio is
last year.
always the
Yep.
first. And then it used to be the Indy
Samson
Pro.
qualified early.
Yep. It was the
But
Arnold
this
Ohio.
year we had Prague.
Is Prague?
We had Prague already, but it was this year, but it's for next year.
Oh.
But
Well,
Samson took the
yeah.
ticket
So
anyway.
technically there are 2024
And there was the Romania.
qualifiers. Yeah. So like the post Olympia shows, those count, but I usually only think of those. I don't know. It's kind of a weird because you
They're
have a break.
qualifiers for next year.
Yeah, they count. All those
Yep.
European shows.
Yep. There was Romania and Prague was the only two
Yeah, Romania,
for heavyweights. For heavyweights,
Romania, Prague.
Samson won both. That piglet,
Yeah. The piglet. Oh, what
yeah,
does that mean?
a piglet, just a
Yeah.
pig eating up all the tickets.
Oh, hey, I think it's a good strategy.
Me too. I'm just
If
joking.
I
No, I
I
like it. I like it.
I like the idea
Michael
of
Daboul has been cleaning house in the classic.
he has, yeah.
I like that. I like that. So
Why
there will
not,
be
you know?
50 guys.
Or
Yeah.
60, yeah.
No. Yeah. Well, they lightened up last year, which was good.
Yeah.
They need to skim down on the bikini
It's the
because
problem is it's you got all these promoters and I've talked to a
I
lot of
know.
them is
I
if they
know.
can have an amateur show and if they just get one pro show, one pro division, they now are a pro division promoter. So that's like a huge feather in their cap. And
Now,
bikini is so affordable because so many women want to do a lot of women, they don't even care if
so
they
many
win.
more
They just
women
want the
can
photos.
do bikini.
So I
So
mean
many women,
every pro.
less amount of men can do open class bodybuilding.
You,
You can't just jump in there.
yeah,
Where
bikinis like
if you have really good genetics and you train and diet, you can be a bikini.
yeah. I was
Not
so
to say they
shocked on
don't
how
train
many
hard.
there's so many bikini pros out there. There's got to be thousands.
Now, do they award top two for the Olympia, or is it just the winners? Didn't they change that, or is
Top
it just the
three, every
winners?
division, top three.
They need to do just the winners for the Olympia.
I would like that, honestly.
I thought they changed that.
No, it's they change. So originally last year it was everyone is top three except open, which is the top five. And then Tyler came out right before this Olympia. So a year later and changed it to no, now it's only top three. And of course, if you won the Olympia, you're qualified for life.
No, I just mean the pro shows during the year.
Oh no, it's just the winner.
I thought it used to be like they'd give the top
Way
three.
before I even covered bodybuilding, I think it was like the top three were qualified.
Well, even some open class bodybuilding did that a couple of years ago.
Really?
Now, yeah,
How
the
far?
Europa Pro used to be the top three.
Oh no, no, that was like a special one-off during
Are you sure?
the big C
Are you
word.
sure?
There was
I
there
thought
was
they
a
did.
couple
I thought
European
the
shows that they did the top two, and then Angel
yeah.
Calderon
Well,
came through and like won all four of them.
I thought they used to do that for a couple of shows. Maybe I'm totally off on that.
Now that you say it, it does sound familiar. So maybe
Arnold Classic, I
like
thought used to be top three, but maybe not. We were just making that up.
maybe yeah, that's good. Hey, comment section, let us know for all you bodybuilding
It was
historians. My main source of bodybuilding history is drawing a blank on this one.
well in 2020, the Arnold Classic. The third place guy got a free ticket to the Olympia.
Really?
Yeah, who
In
placed third
2020?
in 2020 at the Arnold?
Wow.
Come on, come on, Sanch, do it.
I don't remember. Yeah, I just remember the winners qualifying
Who won?
in
20.
2020. That
Yeah,
was it Curry or Nick Walker
neither.
in 2020?
Nick Walker was 2021.
Who won before then? It wasn't Curry?
Curry's 2019, the year he won the Olympia.
Who won in 2020? It wasn't Bonac.
Yes, it
It
was.
was Bonac. Oh, my bad, William. My bad. I'm sorry.
And Dexter the Blade Jackson got an
Mm.
upset victory over Big Ramy, who placed third.
Oh,
Third. So nobody had him on the radar to win the Olympia
well,
2020.
yeah. That's the year he got the special invite.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm.
So for all intents and purposes, top three were qualified for the Olympia that year. Because Dext is qualified for life.
Well, yeah, yeah. If we're getting into the technicals, yeah.
And this year, the whole big deal about only the top three are qualified.
Hmm.
Well, only the top two were, but the second place guy is qualified for life, and Samson already got qualified aside from that. So
Yep.
there's nobody from the top three that are awarded a ticket from the Olympia for their placing.
Yeah. And
They
and
didn't need that
Brandon's
ticket to
qualified
get
for
it.
life, and he was in the top five.
And he was fourth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did do a comparison between him and Andrew Jack.
My cat is trying to get in here, and he's been screaming this whole time ever since I got back yesterday because I've been in Philly for like 2 weeks.
How come he's not allowed in the room?
Well, because he just yells so much.
My
He,
cat's sleeping, I think.
oh yeah, mine. He would not be. He yelled all night last night. I did not sleep.
Just throw him out.
Yeah, maybe he's being good right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this episode. If you want to hear some more chatting with me and Mark, we will be recording another one, so stay tuned. But check out Mark's Max Muscle on YouTube and Sunny Warrior Cloud on Instagram.
Sunny War Cloud.
Sunny War Cloud on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow him. He's got some. He posts you mostly like workout stuff, right?
Yeah, I got to get back on my
Mm-hmm.
at least weekly.
You should at least post like when you do new videos, post up like the. Have you seen what I've been doing with the? Well, let's see here. Let me pull it up real quick. Shameless plug for myself. Um, I got this thing um when I share directly from YouTube to Instagram, it makes this little box thumbnail in my messenger. So I just screenshot this and drop it in, and it's it looks pretty good. It's got like the thumbnail and it's got the description and the title.
No,
So I
that's not
just
bad.
yeah, I just post this. I drop the description, all the tagged athletes, and then I'll copy the link and then I'll share it to my
Yeah.
story so people can just click it and go right to the video. It's a nice little system.
340. Who's 340? Is that the guy that was at the Was it the Vancouver Pro? Where was that guy
Oh,
at?
Aaron Galley.
Yeah, he competed somewhere. He placed last, but he still looked pretty good.
Yeah, well, he's a Canadian, so he probably was doing
Oh,
the
was it
Vancouver.
the Italy show? Or no, maybe it was the Vancouver. He's like six
Yeah,
three or something.
yeah. He's my 6'2", 6'3". Used to be a
Yeah.
men's physique guy.
What?
Yeah, Aaron Galley. He's wild.
He's
Shout
big
out to
dude
Aaron.
all the way. Big dude. Wow, 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 wow.
Yep.
Pumping up. Pumping iron.
Yeah. His wife's
I
a
better
pro
stop before we
too.
lose ratings. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Super couple.
Yeah. Emily, I think, yeah, Emily something. Drawing a blank. But yeah, this dude's awesome. He just needs to just bring up everything. Just bigger legs, thicker legs, upper
It's
body's
hard
pretty
when you're
solid.
tall. Yep. It's hard when you're tall.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir, man. Yeah. Oh, that's his wife right there, duh.
Well, you had an advantage
Emily.
that your legs were your strong point too. So, and
Yeah,
that's mostly the concern with the tall guys.
yeah. I got really lucky with the quad sweep towards the knee. I've got that like Hassan Mustafa, the way his quads are like just fat at the bottom and they come up. That's kind of how my legs are built. So,
Rubiela.
yep, Rubio Mascara. Yep. Next zone. He's got great calves too. I saw just all around. He's freaky. I'm excited for him next year. But anyways, click the box right here. It'll take you to the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace out.